Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be mid-month messages for the sign of Capricorn in mid-September 2020. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your mid-month reading. Hopefully, wherever you are in the world right now, Capricorn, I hope you're doing well. I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure, my friends, okay? Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, as we are still very much in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, 2020. What a year, huh? All right, guys, let's get into it. Anything you want from me, Capricorn, it is already in the description box, so the timestamp is down there. Information you will need if you want to purchase a personal reading from me, that is also down there, as well as the link to my Instagram if you want to follow me over there. If you want to do a donation to the channel, you are welcome to do so using the PayPal link or the Cash App link that is provided in the description box. It is always voluntary. It is never, expected or anything like that. But I had someone reach out recently, and that's why I wanted to share that with everybody. So if you're so inclined, feel free to do that. If not, you can show support to the channel in another way, which is to like, share, subscribe, or comment here on the channel if you find that you like what I do and the messages resonate and you want to help a girl out. That's all. If you don't want to do any of that, that's totally cool too. It's a free will world, my friends, okay? Capricorn, let's get into it. I want to see messages for Capricorn in mid-September 2020. Messages, energies, and insights for Capricorn in mid-September, 2020. Bridge. How many? Feels like 2. Yeah, good. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get into it. Messages, energies, and insights for Capricorn, mid-September. It's 1. Capricorn, mid-September 2020. Wow, strength has been coming out. I've only done 4 signs, but I think that's the 3rd time that's come out. And 7 of Swords. Okay, first card was 9 of Swords, Strength, and 7 of Swords. Okay, friends. 9 of Swords. I don't know why I'm giving it a fanfare, but there you go. Strength. Major arcana for Leo. You could be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. And the 7 of Swords. All right. So you're a little stressed. It is a general. It can go the other way. I'll say that now. But I will address it as if this is happening to you because it is the Capricorn reading. There's a lot of stress. Okay. I was doing this like, I'm trying to like sandwich or trying to close my hands in the middle here to kind of bring the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Swords together. But the barrier is the Strength in the middle. So there's stress, anxiety on one side. There's possible lies, deception, deceit, misgivings or misdeeds or insecurities or whatever the hell. The 7 of Swords is like a loaded dice. There's a lot in there. And the barrier or the pebble in the shoe of these energies is the Strength card. So Capricorn, wherever you are, I'm gonna put it as if you're there. So I feel like where you're coming from or what you've known or what you've been experiencing lately or people around you has been very stressful, has been very anxiety inducing, right? 9 of Swords. It's been very disturbing to your peace or the peace of the situation, peace of mind, just the ability to relax. Like I said, I feel like a lot of anxiety here, tense, like, neck or shoulders. You can't sleep well. You can't get in a comfortable position. It feels like you're laying on a bed made out of concrete. And it's just like, for whatever reason, there's a lot of This is chronic, okay? Whoever is in this energy, this is how they feel a lot of the time. Fatigued, stressed out, uncertain, or incapable of seeing beyond their worst attributes or the worst parts of the situations they're like. This is someone who, like, I'm not saying it's like this, but it's sort of like an Eeyore energy from like Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore, hey Pooh, oh, what's the, I can never do a Winnie the Pooh impression, and maybe I'm not supposed to, but like, oh bother Eeyore, what's the matter? And Eeyore's just always like, everything sucks. And Pooh's like, but there's honey, I'm not wearing any pants. Like, look at Tigger, he's bouncing off the wall, we're all having a great time. And Eeyore's like, I know, but it doesn't, and I'm not trying to say anybody's being a Debbie Downer, but it's really like, where maybe there are times where this person, this energy could see joy, could experience lightheartedness. They don't. They're so conditioned or used to or chronically fall back into this energy of worry, anxiety, insomnia in some cases, right? And it's not a blame thing. That's just their truth. It's just what they're doing or how they've been doing things, right? So I'm not sure if this is you or not. I can't tell. I think I'm going to put Capricorn in the strength energy because I really feel like in many cases, this is misery loves company or misery loves validation. So let's say it that way, right? So what, I don't watch a lot of Winnie the Pooh now that I'm an adult. I watched it when I was a kid a couple times, but my impression of Eeyore is that he wants people to give him validation for being sad. And I could be totally wrong. Please don't, I mean no offense if you're a huge fan of that series or in particular Eeyore. But my impression as an adult thinking back to what I remember is like he just wanted people to feel sorry for him. And I know that's not really what Eeyore's about. I know that's not, but like that's my impression that I'm getting. So maybe I should stop assigning it to Eeyore and assign it to this person. It feels like this person wants people to feel sorry for them. Could be you, could be someone else, please, and if I'm calling you out, I'm sorry, but that's like how this is coming across. And it's not to say it's not warranted, because that was the word I used. Misery loves company, misery loves validation. So there's something here where somebody has reason to feel these ways. Chronic fatigue is the actual, diagnosis you can have. How do you get chronic fatigue? I assume you would get it through being stressed all the time, possible issues with depression or anxiety, and all that stuff wears on you physically to the point where even after a full night's sleep, you wake up feeling like you only were asleep for 30 minutes, right? If you're dealing with a high amount of stress, if you're dealing with relationships or circumstances or work situations, family, whatever, and it's just like taking you to the limits and it's everybody's on your last nerve. I'm not saying you're to blame for that. Whoever's in that energy. I'm not saying that they're seeking to be validated without actual reason. There is reason to want this validation or to want people to recognize how hard it would be to snap out of this. Maybe that's it. There's a lot of misconceptions amongst all types of people in all kinds of situations about mental health issues, because these are swords, right? So swords talk to not only communication, but our mental capacities, the way that we rationalize the world, the way that we're able to articulate what we experience, right? What we feel, what we think, right? And if you are struggling with depression, having issues revolving around social anxiety or performance anxiety or imposter syndrome or something like that, and it cripples you, like I said, those things can take physical tolls on your body. So you could be living with, working with, in the same family, in the same friendship circle with somebody who they see what's going on here and they don't understand. Like I said, you could have gone to bed full 8 hours, hell, 10 hours, 11, whatever, and wake up and still feel groggy. People don't understand. Why are you so tired? Why do you say your body hurts? Why, someone doesn't believe that someone else's stress is as bad as as they claim it to be. And it's not ironic, but I think the sad part is this person that adds to there's being told to suck it up, buttercup, is not great advice for somebody who's really suffering, right? And so please take all this with a grain of salt. In some of your cases, someone might be absolutely hyperbolic. They might absolutely be exaggerating what they're experiencing. They might absolutely be crutching and trying to lean on the fact that, oh, I'm having such a bad time of life and I feel so sad and this isn't working out for me, like making mountains out of molehills. In some of your cases, that could be true. In other cases, this is an actual fucking mountain that this person is trying to traverse, or that they live on, or that they're accustomed to. And I did use this word chronic. It happens over and over and over again, right? So where and how much sympathy you need to give to this person, or compassion, I don't know. I like to err on the side of giving most people a fair amount of compassion, because it's good energy practice. It's good soul practice, okay? But you don't have to do anything that I tell you to do, or that the cards or anybody or my guides are advising you to do. You make up your own mind, yeah? So somebody's in anguish. Period, paragraph, as my mother says. Somebody is really going through it. And in the center here, maybe as a beacon of hope, as a sign of inspiration, or something lurking beneath the surface here with this person, a small part of themselves, if not an external energy, you've got this strength card. And I'm not even sure that, well, yeah, okay. They're like, keep going. Because I was like, these two are connected. These two energies are connected. But anyway, and so in the middle of this, you've got this strength energy. Now, does not have to be a Leo. Again, doesn't even have to be a female. Okay, so take it all with a grain of salt. But we've got this person, or this external energy, or something in the matter here, something in the ethers of this situation that is bold, that has a lot of self-awareness, or the ability to call the situation like it is, yeah, and address the situation as is. This could be someone in an official or a professional capacity, so like a counselor, a social worker. This could be an actual doctor, even though strength isn't about being a doctor like in tarot, but this could be someone who just has a wealth of knowledge or experience or insight that they, in unofficial ways, perhaps, as much as they might be a professional or very aware or knowledgeable on the subject, or knowledgeable in the situation, they might not be in the actual conscious or mindful act of helping. Like, it's passive. That's the word. I was waiting. I was like, what am I doing? So passively, someone who's in this Nine of Swords could be learning from this person. Like this always gives me like a mirror image. Like, this woman is looking in a mirror, but we're not seeing her. We're seeing her reflection, right? So I get the sense like maybe, in some senses, someone could be like reading or listening to like an audiobook or like a self-help book or something like that, right? And doing mantras or doing some type of self-healing, self-love type of exercises. And it's because this person who wrote the book, does the podcast, whatever it is a leading example, like a beacon. Did I use that word earlier? I think I did. This person or this energy is like a beacon, like an example. And I don't want to say like a shining example, but that's kind of how they're being perceived. Being perceived as, oh my God, look at that person. Look how successful they are. Look how happy they are. Look how they, maybe in a very similar story to what is going on with the Nine of Swords, getting over this, like this person could have been here before. And like, that's their whole like platform. Like, that's what they stand on. I used to be blah, blah, blah. I used to be like this. I used to feel these ways. I used to suffer from these conditions or these issues, right? And I have since triumphed over it, because that's the bigger part of the strength card, is triumphing over adversity. Seeing oneself through dark times to a better outcome, to, I don't want to say ascension, because, well, in some of your cases, maybe this is a spiritual thing. It could be about a personal spiritual ascension. So I'll say it. But leveling up, basically. And not like in a I'm better than you type of way, because, that could occasionally be associated with the Strength card and those egoic tendencies that are associated with Leo's energy. But I'm not feeling it this way. I'm not feeling that this person is like, now I'm so much better than everybody else, and ha ha ha, I'm just better than everybody else. And like, no, it's like this person actually has compassion, or has the, here it is, tough love. In some cases, this is tough love. So if this is a podcast, or if this is some type of speaker or therapist, they're probably not like, again, like holding, I mean, they could, but like holding hands and being very gentle. Like there's a little bit of an intense energy here. So instead of like, and tell me how you're feeling today, and I hear you, and I love, and blah, 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 like all that soft tone. It's like they might hold your hand. It's just like, I'm going to tell you some stuff that you might not want to hear. Are you ready? Like, it's like that. It's like, I care for you, and I want to see you succeed, or I want to see you get better, or this situation improve, but I'm also not going to cut any corners or sugarcoat anything with you. There's a very strong, like, boom, on the nose. Like, you know, I like that. And it's super, you know, to kind of play with the, or go directly with the words, this is the Strength card. It's a very strong energy. This is not someone who is going to buckle, or who's going to be dissuaded or be distracted, right? So again, they're pulling me back to Winnie the Pooh. And maybe that's a big hit for some of you. Maybe you guys love that series, or you love Eeyore or any of the other characters. But they're pulling me back, and I feel like, yeah, there's at least two characters in Winnie the Pooh, Owl and Rabbit, who kind of are a little sassy, right? They're like kind of like, well, probably Rabbit is a little more, you know, ornery. I feel like the Owl, he's wise, but he's also kind of like playful, or he's just like, I don't remember the series that good. I don't know the characters in and out. Like Tigger, I probably know the most because he's, aside from Winnie, probably the most popular character. Anyway, I feel like those two characters, they give home truths. They're very like, you know, here's what's going on. This is not right. This is wrong, blah, blah, blah. And Winnie can be like that way too. Winnie's kind of like, well, that's not really what we should be doing, you know. But those two characters I feel are the roughest, especially Rabbit. And so I'm getting this energy like they live in that same imaginary world, right? They still interact with the other characters and have these friendships or have these bonds, but they can, or at least one of them can be kind of a dick, right? So it's kind of like that. I care about you, but I'm kind of going to be like a dick, and I'm going to give you this tough love because I care about you. Yeah? Something like that is going on. Now, the Seven of Swords, again, I'm feeling like there's like this inability to penetrate whatever this is, whoever this is. There's an inability, not that this is the goal, but I think, again, it's like calling it like they see it. This person, this energy is able to spot the issues, spot the anxiety, spot the anguish and the desperation perhaps that the Nine of Swords represents. And they're also able to spot what's going on with the Seven of Swords. Now, Capricorn, I don't know where you are. I was a little more confident in the beginning of saying you're absolutely in the Strength card, but you don't have to be. Some of you are in these peripheral energies, these energies over, or not peripheral, but these energies that are on either side. Now, Seven of Swords, lies, deception, deceit, but also I'm getting denial, which is another form of, you know, lying. But I'm getting like there's somebody, not opposite, but like how I was saying before about Eeyore wants validation, or, you know, mountains out of molehills kind of thing. There's also this energy of like denying any of that. Trying to save face. There we go. Trying to save face. So someone might say, hey, is there a problem here? This, in some cases, this Seven of Swords is saying, no, there's no issue. There's no problem. There's nothing to see here. Please carry on. Right? But that's the lesser of this group or this tangent or whatever. This majorly feels like escape. Like something about not facing it. Which I guess is similar Okay. So remember how I just said the first group is kind of like, or this there's like a smaller part of this population or this energy here that's like there's no issues, there's absolutely nothing to do. There's another group that says, yeah, there are issues, but they're not that, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as he or she is saying. It's not as bad as people think. I've got this under control, everything's fine, blah 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 blah. And behind closed doors, it's this feeling totally wrecked, right? But on the outside, it's like keeping up appearances. Yeah? This is not healthy. Whoever's here and here, it's not, I'm not trying to blame, it's not a blaming thing, but this is very much not healthy. This is very much not a healthy situation. I feel the deception that someone holds or the half-truths that someone tells themselves, they project that outward to protect themselves, to protect other people, to, again, save face. And every night, again, it could be a chronic pain issue or a chronic illness or disorder or condition that is held under wraps. And this person here, whether they're close to the situation or far apart from it, they can suss all that out. They can sniff that out like a pig to truffles. Wow, look at me, like a pig to truffles. But you know what I mean? Like they can tell this is not correct. And someone else is playing it off like it's correct. Ooh, interesting. As I was leaving this energy, this card spoke to me and said, I saw what I saw. I know what I know. So there are telltale signs going on here. Like yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and move on, please. Thank you. Further messages, where are we? Okay, so let's get further messages for Capricorn, please, regarding the situation. Further messages for Capricorn regarding the situation. Ace of Cups, okay. Further information regarding the situation for Capricorn, please show me. And the King of Wands, okay. So, okay. This is the first time I've felt this in the reading, because what this really felt like, for the most part, was a mental or emotional disorder or illness, right? Someone suffers in silence with a condition, or they don't tell the full truth about what chronically happens to them. So, but these two cards coming out gave me a completely different story. I'm not sure if we'll go back to the first one, but this coming out is giving me this idea that like an affair has come out here. It's not for everybody, I don't think. Or maybe it is. Maybe it okay, that's very specific. But I'll explain how we get there. I'm getting like an affair. I'm getting, Ace of Cups, love offers and amorous feelings and, ooh la la can happen there, or at least wanting that to happen, wanting to connect with someone emotionally. And then you have the passion and the fervor and the excitement of the King of Wands. In this particular deck, this King of Wands is presented like a vampire. So he's, taken his latest victim. So there's like this very hedonistic, animalistic, carnal thing coming up here. And okay, like I said, I'm going to explain it. So back here, I told you, my initial feeling in dealing with all of these three cards was someone has a mental, emotional something going on. Some type of depression or varying levels of depression and anxiety, possibly, what is that called? Bipolar, thank you. Something like that. And this is not an excuse. I'm not co-signing on this at all. But what I'm sensing is maybe in a situation you have friends or family members or partners who are suffering, or who have suffered with what's going on with them emotionally, mentally, spiritually even. Physically in some cases, because again, the mental disturbances can lead to physical ailments, right? And that person, Whether you're involved or not, whether you're the partner or whoever, they may have been partnered or close with a person who, in some sense, maybe a husband, maybe a wife, maybe a boyfriend, girlfriend, or maybe just, somebody who was trusted in or intimate enough in the situation. And that, how can I say this? I feel like if let's do this, because I want to put you somewhere. I'm going to put you here, Capricorn, just for the sake of explaining what's going on. You're here as the outside person who can call it like you see it, right? The counselor, the friend, the person with the podcast, the person who has authored a couple of books on self-help or self-love and all that kind of stuff. And one of your clients, viewers, fans, whatever, they have all of this. This person in this storyline, and please, take what applies and leave what doesn't, and, bend the information as you need, but don't break it, right? To make it fit. This person is married in this scenario in my mind. You've got a supporter, a friend, a client, a patient who's married, but that marriage partner is a philanderer, is a cheater. Very interesting that I get this. Oh, because of the Seven of Swords. That's why. I'm like, where is this cheating shit coming from? But it came out very, very strongly. This person is married. This person who has these issues, they're married to a person who doesn't really support them or doesn't know how to support them. Let's say it that way. Doesn't know what's wrong, how to help their partner. And that has put a strain on the relationship, on the marriage, on the commitment, on whatever. And so now, instead of possibly supporting this person, standing by their side, wanting to see them through and support them, whatever, they step off, or they want to step off, right? They want to give or receive love offers from, for lack of a better word, victims. Now, not saying anybody's victimizing anybody. That's not, again, the best choice of words. But there's this passion that comes from the King of Wands in this depiction of him being a vampire. What happens with vampires? If they don't feed, in most stories with vampires, if they don't feed, they turn into a frenzied animal. And they don't care where they get their source, right? They just have to do it. Ah, boy. Now, that would fit even without the partner at home, male or female, doesn't matter, having suffered any type of emotional distress or disorder from another reason. This could be the reason for them having anxiety, for them feeling anguish. This could be the reason for them not seeing or knowing the full truth, because maybe they have a partner who does this, who is a chronic cheater perhaps. And this person over here is going through messages. I mean, I'm not saying they're doing this, but this is like sort of a way that stories like this can unravel, right? So you're still here, but your person, your friend, your client, your patient, whatever, is telling you, I suspect my woman or my man of cheating. I've been reading emails. I've been checking text messages. I'm looking, I'm checking their friends page. I'm doing all this stuff. I confront him. He denies it. I tell her, I think I know that you're cheating on me, and she denies it, right? This person is convinced of a truth that they cannot see. When you're convinced of a truth that you cannot see, it runs rampant in your mind, right? You're convinced, I'm not crazy, he or she is doing me dirty, all this stuff is happening, but there's no proof of it. You could drive yourself nuts doing that, right? So there's something here similar to that. That came out so strongly with these two cards. Now, is there any other way that we can read that? Because I don't think that applies in the majority of your cases. Remember I was mentioning this idea of self-help or self-love and like podcasts and looking to someone as a beacon, right? So looking to a person as a beacon of hope or an inspiration on how to get out of these situations or out of these mental and emotional situations or circumstances, right? Or not conditions, what do you call it? Perspectives, feelings, right? You get it. is to kind of radically, maybe that's something some of you are exploring, because it's a term, but I don't think that there's like a one way to do it. But the term is radical self-love, right? So if other people aren't able to show you compassion, like I said, there are some of you that, or there's someone in the situation of the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Swords where they're not understood. People don't support them. You know, misery loves validation. I just want to be told that I'm not crazy, or that what I'm experiencing makes sense to people, and people around me, for whatever reason, they don't understand me, they don't sympathize with me, they don't empathize with me. And so in place of other people providing that for whoever's in the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Swords, they do it for themselves. And that could be, again, a lesson or advice coming from the person in the Strength card, yeah? All right, where are we? I'll do a quick word of advice. One quick card of advice, and then we're going to wrap up. One card of advice for Capricorn in this situation, please. All right, so we'll take the top card. That's good. Temperance. Okay. Yep. With the Hermit and the Five of Wands also were coming out, but we're not going to address them. But if you know about these cards, Hermit and Five of Wands, go ahead and apply that knowledge. For the sake of time, I'm not going to incorporate them. But your advice for the situation, Capricorn, is temperance. Definitely reach out to people and seek help if you need it. If people are seeking help from you, whether you're professionally trained, whether it's your bread and butter, how you make money, or whether you're just, surrounded by a friend or a family member or a loved one who is in need of help, be that vessel. Be that... They're warning me for those intimate relationships where you know the person. Don't coddle and don't make someone codependent. But if someone is coming to you and they're revealing a truth, or you need to reveal a truth to a person, make sure they're trusted. Make sure that they support you, but also don't, again, coddle you, right? Don't look for pity. Pity does nothing for anybody, ever, right? Because temperance is about realistic self-monitoring, right? Realistic expectations of self. Knowing when you've gone too far to either side. Too far towards happiness and joy and elation and trying to, put a ribbon and a bow on everything. You wrap a ribbon around a piece of shit, it's still a piece of shit. Literally. What does that do? To put a ribbon on a turd? Nothing. Right? It also doesn't do anything to compile a bunch of poops in a corner and just ignore it. That's disgusting. It's unhygienic. So clean it up, right? So have that temperance, have that knowledge or that awareness or just that sensibility, or at least be open to people who tell you these truths. If you're in the need of hearing this advice or being around people, seek the person who's going to give you a little bit of that tough love. They're not going to coddle you and make everything pretty and gloss over the gory details of what's been troubling you. That's the thing about this Strength card. And if the King of Wands is supportive, they don't have to be. Like in that one scenario, it's not a supportive card, but in some of your cases it is. They would be somebody who will hear you out. Right? Not somebody who's just like, oh, let's just make this better real quick. Let me just put a Band-Aid on your gaping wound. And they're not also going to put you in a full body cast either. That's over. You know what I mean? It has to be in proper measure. Whatever care and concern and healing is presented in the situation. Temperance is about putting things in equal measure and coming out with a balanced view of things. Proper perspective. If something, like I said, if it's a piece of poop, don't try and dress it up like it's not, because everybody can smell it. What are you holding in your hand there? Oh, this is a pancake. No, it's not. It's a turd. Put that where it needs to go. Dispose of that. Go wash your hands for at least 5 minutes and then come back and let's deal with the real situation here. You know what I mean? Sorry for all the poo-poo talk. But like literally the visual they put in my head was a turd with a little red bow on it. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to talk about that. Anyway, Capricorn, that is your reading for mid-September. If you found anything that resonated here, please leave a comment. If you like what's going on, or if you like the reading, if you like my style, if you liked anything that I did here, please hit the like button. Feel free to share and subscribe to the channel as well. Doing any and all of those things will help me as a reader here on YouTube, and will get these messages and this community growing and more people into the flock, so to speak. Capricorn, if you want a personal reading with me, you can get that information in the description box. I will be back soon to do your October reading. So until then, my friends, I thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.